Hello and welcome to Twitter clone with ReactJS, HTML5, CSS3 and ReactJS. I am Kamran Magdani, and in this video we are going to set up the Twitter newsfeed UI. But before continuing, I would like to request, if you have not if you have not liked my Facebook page, then please go and like and follow the WatchMeCode Facebook page. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe and click the bell icon to receive the updates. Today I was thinking a lot of other things, and suddenly I decided, why should not we try or design the Twitter modern UI for web, and then we will move on to a React Native, and we will build Twitter mobile app as well. Okay, let's get started. Twitter modern UI has a couple of different sections, and first of all we should take a look at the Twitter sidebar. That is the typical navigation with home, explore for hashtag explore, and notifications for our alerts and notification, of course. And we have a messages section that is for inbox or direct messages, and we have a bookmarks section list, we have a profile section as well, and we have more, and we have a couple of more options right inside the menu. Great. And after that we have our newsfeed, and we have the newsfeed box from where we can share and update our status, or you can call it tweet, because in this specific scenario we are designing the Twitter, so we should use the tweet term instead. And inside the tweet box we have image attachment, the GIF image attachment. Of course we can start a poll, and we can attach a smiley or stickers, and of course we are not going to design the stickers, but instead we will use right from here. And we have tweet button, and after that we have the newsfeed section, and we have the user DP, that is display picture, the username, and we have a verified badge and following with the username. We have timestamp, we have the actual tweet that is limited to 160 characters, or I guess Twitter has lifted the limit, but we will take a look later. We have social options, that is comment, retweet, we have a heart option, and we have a very cool animation. Whenever we click, you can see we have simply animation, and that animation moves to the counter. So let's click one more time. Great. And we have kind of share option, we have more option, so that we can simply embed the tweet, we can unfollow the user, we can mute the user, we can block the user, and we have report option. Great. And we have a couple of attachment options as well, like we can embed the video, we can just add the link of external URI, like you can share your own web. And after that we have images option, and we have follow, and we have a lot more exciting things right inside the feed. Coming to our right section, we have a Twitter search, and we have the top trends. And as I am located inside the Pakistan, we can see the Pakistan trend, but we can of course change to location to somewhere else by clicking on locations, and we can choose the location right from here. But for now, keep the Pakistan. And we have a couple of follow or who to follow options, and we can call it like user suggestions. And after that we have a simple footer with terms, privacy policy, cookies info, ads info, and a couple of more options. Great. I'm very excited to start, and I can't simply wait. Let's start. Okay, I have localhost set up with Twitter folder, and I have a Visual Studio Code up and running, and I have simply copy the index.php and we have index.php set up along with title, style sheet, and I am going to remove this style sheet right here. And I have props.css, core.css, and these files are located right inside CSS. We have JS, and inside the JS we have babel.js, core.js, jQuery, React DOM development, and React development. We have UI folder, and inside the UI I have the logo. Great. Let's start, and give me a couple of minutes. Okay, let's save it. If you are following my other tutorials, I am using this typical setup, and you can follow along. And if you are confused how I have set up this entire thing, you can I guess I have a couple of tutorials you can follow, and you can watch again to see how I have set up these things. But for now, let's go to core, and the core.js is simply empty, and we should move to ta-da. Just a minute, I am quickly sharing my video. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, let's create a class, and let's call it what should we call it? Should we call it core, or should we, I guess we should call it sidebar extends react.component, and inside react.component we should include the render method, and inside the render there should be a return statement, and we should simply use div with class name, and we should give it a class name of sidebar. Great. Let's call react DOM.render, and we should call sidebar, and the target should be document.getElement by ID, and the ID should be __root. Great. And we should test by going to our localhost. Let me quickly open the developer console by pressing and holding Control Shift and press I. Let's go to console and reload. Now if we quickly go to elements and inside a div root, we have the sidebar. Great. And after that, I guess we should move on. But before that, let me quickly check a couple of things. Okay, let's go to our core, and inside the core we should create a const and call it load page, and the load page should be page equals, and let's call a switch page, and inside the switch let's call index and give it a break. And by default the index should be just like React DOM, or let me quickly copy it from here. And paste right here. And instead of just rendering the sidebar, we should create a class and call it newsfeed extends react.component. One more time, let's add a render, and we need to add a return statement as well, and quickly call it class name equals Twitter root, and inside the Twitter root we should be rendering this sidebar, and inside the load page let's call newsfeed instead, and quickly call a load page with index. We should be updating the dynamically indexed page, or where we are currently inside our location, that is inside our address bar. For now, let's render it. Load page, go back to localhost and reload, and we have Twitter root. Inside the Twitter root we have sidebar. Great. Now we need to add let's go to CSS, open up the core.css, and for now we have body, and we have reset the body margin padding and the font family to Arial, because we will be adding the font from Google. Let's quickly add it, I guess, or we should. Okay, let's go to fonts.google.com, select the open sans, and you need to select, if you are new to Google Fonts, you can simply go to directory, you can search fonts, search for open sans, and I already added to my wish list, but you can add by clicking on this plus link, and your font will be right here, and you can go to customize, and I guess we need semi bold, or well, keep the bold, and regular and light. Well, keep these for now. And you can see we have a link. Let's copy and go to index.php, and inside the head let's paste it. And now you can see we have font family, open sans, and sans serif. And if you have followed my previous tutorials, I have props set up right here, and we can simply add dot font, and let's quickly copy right here and paste inside. And now we have open sans, sans serif. Great. Let's copy and duplicate it a couple of times. Font N for normal, font L for font weight lighter, and font B if we need bold, that should be font weight equals bold. Great. Let's go back to core, and inside the core we should be using the sidebar, and inside the sidebar let's add the fixed class, and for fixed we have position fixed. I guess we should move it to fixed. Great. I have downloaded the Twitter logo. Let's copy and paste inside UI, paste, and I guess I should remove this, and let's call it Twitter dash logo. Go back to core, and inside the core we should add a href, and let's use the base, and the base should be, I guess we should create one more file and call it base.js, and inside the base we should be using const Zeus. I love using this keyword, and Zeus, and the base should be https localhost, and we should be using Twitter. Great. Let's save it. Go back to core.js, and inside the href we will be using those.base, and the class name should be logo, call it BL, and if you go to props, the BL class has display block, and after that we should be using image source, and the source will be those.base plus UI Twitter logo.png. Great. I guess we should add the BL class here as well, and after that let's use a UL list, and inside the UL list we should be using the class name, call it to nav, and let's add a dynamic item as well, but for now let's create our hardcode one and call it a href source.base, and let's add class name, should be BL, and we should be adding, well, I love to format the code as we go along or move along. Let's add the class name equals ICO, and the icon should be something like, go to isomon.io, because we are going to add icons from library. And what should we use, by the way? Okay, typo plus is good. Click on add. The gig logs, if you are a beginner, you can simply use the JavaScript for beginners. I do have a couple of tutorials, but unfortunately the tutorials are in Urdu, but you can, I guess you should better understand from YouTube, or what can I say, God knows. Well, go back to our Isomon app in Typo Plus and quickly search for select, go to generate font, and now we are using the quick temporary link copy. Go back to index and paste, create. Now if we go to core, by the way, if you are new to Isomon app, it is pretty simple. You can simply add font set, and you can go to selection, select a couple of fonts you want to use, and after that you can simply generate the font, and you have the prefix of icon, and it is actually icon dash. If you click on this little gear icon, it will show you font name. The class prefix is icon dash. So we should be adding icon dash home, and after that we should be using a label that is home. I guess we should add a couple of more classes inside props, and let's start with S15. We will be using the prefix .s for font size, and that is font size 15 pixels, and this way we can add more font sizes as we need it. S16. Let's add font B for our font family sans serif or open sans, and we need to add S15 as well. Let's save it, go to core, let's add .sidebar, and inside this sidebar we will be adding the logo. How should we pronounce it? Logo. And by the way, in Urdu, whenever we call the people, we call logo meri baat suno, but in English we use logo for brand identity. What a coincidence. Well, keep the .logo image, and after that we need sidebar.nav, and inside nav we have li, we have anchor, we have a hover, we have a .ico, oops, sorry, .ico. It is actually inside the a. Great, let's save it. Quickly go back to our local host and reload, and we have a couple of errors. That is reference errors. Those is not defined, of course, because we have not included base.js inside our index base. Great, let's save it, go back to localhost and reload. Ta-da! We have our sidebar, but we need to add CSS for our sidebar. Let's select it. First of all, let me add a background. We can remove it later, but we should be aware of our sidebar area. Add a top 0, left 0, bottom should be 0, and width should be something like 225, I guess. Yeah, it is 225. Great. Now let's, oops, my bad, we should be using Twitter root instead. Yeah, it is Twitter root, not actually the sidebar, and the sidebar should be typical rel class. Great. We need to add one more class, that is flex, and it should be display flex, so that we can easily add the flex property to whatever element we need. Let's add flex. It is actually flex, or what should we call it? Flex. Oh boy. Well, let's go to I should add the main newsfeed box as well. Let me quickly copy this sidebar and duplicate it and call it feed, and inside the feed I should be using feed. Let's remove it and simply add newsfeed list goes here. Great. And we should be adding one more section, and let's call it, what should we call it? A right bar, or let's call it a right box, or let's call it meta box. Yeah, it makes more sense, and call it meta box. Meta goes here. Let's save it, boy, and add right here, that is feed. It is actually feed and meta box. Great. Now let's go to our localhost, reload, and we have Twitter root. Inside the Twitter root we have sidebar, feed, and the meta box. Great. We need to add these elements right here. Let's call it feed, and we have meta box. Save. Great. Now first of all we need to add Twitter root. I guess I have not added yet. Call it Twitter dash root. Save. Reload one more time. Let's select the Twitter root and add margin top 0, and horizontal should be auto, and width should be something like 90% or 90 width, view width, or I guess it should be, well, let's use 85 width view width actually, or we can use percent as well. Let's copy and paste right inside our CSS and save it. Save. Now let's select sidebar, logo, and inside the logo we have image. Give it a height of something like 30 pixels or I guess 40 is good. Twitter is using smaller one. Let's call it 35. So we should not copy the Twitter. Great. Let's copy and paste inside logo image. Now we should select logo and add padding 10 pixels and horizontal should be 0 pixels. Great. And margin should be 10 pixels and 0 pixels as well. Great. We are making the progress. Let's go to props, and we have no UL property for CSS for text decoration, none. Let's add it by going to our nav, no UL. It is for no underline. Well, this is my style of coding. I use a couple of CSS classes, so we should not be duplicating position relative and position fixed. Instead, we should be using the simple class, that is fixed rel bl, no ul, flex, blah blah blah. Let's go back to our localhost, reload, and now we have one more problem, and that is our icon is right on top of our label, but we need it inline block. And wow, we already have .ibl, that is display inline block. And let's go to ICO, add ibl, and refresh. Oh yeah, great, it is working. Right click, inspect, and we have icon, we have label. Select the anchor, give it a color of 333, and I guess 666 is good, and we should be using S16 instead. Yeah, let's copy and paste inside the anchor tag. And by the way, you should be worried why I just type inside developer console and copy and paste back and forth. It is because sometimes when I giving some kind of speed inside the code, like typing, I forgot to copy and paste, and accidentally if I just save and reload, these changes are not saved actually at all. Okay, let's select this sidebar and let's add flex to 1, and for meta box add flex to 1 as well. But for feed, we will be using flex to 3 because the feed is supposed to use a little more UI pixels, or I guess we should use flex 2. Great. Go to core, add flex 2, add flex 1, and inside sidebar we should be using flex 1 as well. Great. Now if we quickly go back to core, we have S16 and we have our ICO. Let's select it and add font size to something like 22, I guess. Yeah, it is 22. And let's add vertical align bottom, and select and add margin 0, 0, 0, and 0. Let's add right 5 pixels, and bottom should be, ta-da, 1 is good. Boy, Let's reduce this size a little bit. Yeah, great. Let's copy and paste inside the core.css. Great. Now we need to add the hover effect, that is this beautiful radius color. Let's select, inspect, and right click for state hover. Let's add background to blue, and the background should be something like this one is good. And if we go to our normal state, and inside this state let's add a display table, line height should be 1, padding should be something like 20 pixels, and I guess we should remove the line height property, and instead we should add border radius to something like 40 or 50, and after that we will be using great. And if you have noticed, the icons are having some more margin between label. Let's add it. Let's add or reduce the padding to something like 9 pixels, and I guess we should be using something like this one is good. Let's copy and paste inside the anchor CSS, save it, select the ICO, and the right margin should be something like 15 is good. 15 is good, and simply replace it with 15. And now we need to reduce the right padding to 15, and left should be 40, I guess. This one is good. Copy and paste the padding or replace it, save, and on background we should be adding color to blue, and the blue will be of course the Twitter blue. Ta-da! This one. Let's copy and paste inside the hover state, reload, and now we have a nice hover effect. Great. But you can notice the Twitter hover effect is smoother, and we need to add the transition inside the props. And if you know, the transition should be added by adding .anim class. Actually this one is my custom class, you can use whatever name you want. Let's add transition, and the transition should be all 0.2 seconds linear, 0 seconds. Save, go back to core, let's add anim class as well, save and reload, and now we have a nice smooth transition. Great. Now I need to add more navigation options, that is explore, notification, and all that. But for that, let's add I guess we should be using something like state constructor, and constructor should be this dot, oops, before we need super props. Then we need this dot state equals, and it will use navigation, and inside navigation we will be using the object array, and it has icon, and the icon is home, or let's give it full prefix, or well, I guess use home, and the label is home, and the slug is home. We have explore. What Twitter are you using, by the way? Okay, great. That is explore. We will replace icon later. Then we have notifications. We will use alerts as a slug. Notifications. Then we have messages. We will call it inbox, because we will be adding some changes, so no one should call it copycat. And let's remove the list and use the bookmarks. And then we have profile. What is profile? It is actually the username. Let's use profile for now. Great. And we need an active name. Let's call it page, and the page is home. Now we need to add a simple loop. You can simply use the map array thing, but for now keep things simple, stupid. Let's add var list equals, and for var I equals 0, I is less than, let's add one more self equals this, self dot state dot nav dot length, and that is I plus plus. And what should we need? Okay, we should be pushing list dot push, and inside the push we need this item. Let's save it. Please give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. We will be pushing the list item, and we will add zeus.base plus self.state.navi.slug, and then we will be using label, that is self.state.navi label, and the icon should be self.state.icon. Great, let's save it. We need to add key property as well. Call it nav dash plus slug. Great. And instead of li, we will be using list. Let's save it. Go back to localhost and reload, and now we have all these navigation options. create. But first thing first, Twitter is using a bigger font size. Let's check what it is. Let's add font size to 22, and the font family should be font N or font L. What should we use? Keep it for now. Well, I guess the font size should be 2018. Yeah, 18 is good. Go back to props, create .s18, font size 18 pixels. Go to core, and inside the loop let's add 18. Save it, and we have reload, and we have our navigation, and now we need to add li margin bottom. 5 is good, or I guess 8 is good. Go to core, li margin bottom to 8 pixels, and now we need to add icons. And for explore we have hash. Go back to selection, select hash. I guess we should have hash feather. What should we call it? Or I guess we should be using hash from use bell. Yeah, bell. We should have inbox, or maybe message, and then we need to add bookmarks tag. Then we need to add, I guess we should click on generate font. We have bell, we have message, we have tag. Let's quickly add inside the core. For alerts we have bell, for inbox we have message, for bookmarks we have tag. Now we need to add explore, hash, and profile. Go back to selection, let's add user, and for explore we should be using, let's use this icon for now. This is colors, and we have user for profile, and explore should be colors. Great, let's save it. Copy the new generated code, go to index, and just quickly replace it. Save, and let's reload. And now we have all of our icons updated. Great. But as you can see, the Twitter is using less margin. Let's quickly update it. Select Twitter root, and which should be 90% is good. Let's use it. Oops, 90. Save, reload, and now we have, I guess we should give the logo a margin of top, right, bottom, and left should be, no, I should 15 is good, or yeah, 15 is good. Copy one more time, go to logo and replace it. paste, save. Great. Now we have our UI. We have home, explore, notifications, inbox, bookmarks, profile. Great. Now I need to add tweet button. Let's go to core. Inside our sidebar, under the navigation, let's add button, add tweet, give it a class name of tweet button, and the font size should be S16, font B, block. Let's save it. Go to core. Inside the .sidebar.tweet button and tweet button hover. Let's save it. Reload. Right click, inspect, and dog it to right so that we can see it, what is going on, and quickly, yeah. Let's add background to blue, color to white, border radius should be 100% or 50%, and border should be 0, and line height should be 1, and padding should be 10, and why we are using button, which should be 100 pixels, I guess. Yeah, 20 is good. And the background should be our Twitter blue. Click, click, great. And margin top should be 10 pixels or 30 pixels is good. Let's give the width to 120, or yeah, 120 is good. Let's copy, go to Twitter button, and if we go to Twitter, we have a larger button, but we need to tweak the UI couple of pixels or colors to make it better, and we should be using a darker color on hover. Give it background darker. Great. Let's save it. And if we go to props, we need to add button, cursor should be pointer, and outline should be none. Let's save it. Reload. And now we have a nice tweet button, but we need to add smoothness as well. Let's add anim class. Let's save it and reload. And now we have smooth transition between colors. I guess we should add some more width, something like 180, and give it a padding to 14 is good, 13 is good. Quickly replace it. Padding is 13 and 175. Save, reload, and now we have cool colors right here. Now we need to add one more thing, that is class name. We will be adding an active class to current tab. We will be adding self.state.page equals self.state.nav.i.slug. Then we will add on, otherwise we will add an empty string. Let's save it. Go to core and let's quickly copy and paste and give it a class name of a.on. Let's reload it, and we have on class on our home because it is the current active navigation. Color, paste, great. But as user is using, Twitter is using larger icons, I guess we should be using icons to something like, I guess 26 is good. If we quickly reduce the size, 20 is good, and the margin should be, or I guess 30 is good, and margin should be top right 18, and the font size should be something like 20, or I guess 18 is good. Keep the icon larger, and I guess 27 is good, 28 is good. Yeah, copy and paste inside the ICO, save, and we need to add margin bottom to something like 20 or maybe 15. Yeah, let's save it and quickly reload, and now we have our sidebar ready. Great. Well, this is it for this video, and in next video we will design the newsfeed. But before leaving, I would like to request, if you have not liked and follow the WatchMeCode Facebook page, please like and follow, and if you have not subscribed to WatchMeCode YouTube channel, then please subscribe and click the bell icon to receive the updates. And till then, bye bye.